Blessings, family. I am on to talk to you all briefly about my podcast. I have a podcast called AA Exit the Matrix. Again, it's called AA Exit the Matrix. I have several episodes on there. I'm going to let you know about some of the episodes so you can check it out. I have about New Year's Eve in the Gambia, which some of you may be familiar with because I actually did a video on that. I have Why Are You Selfless when it comes to your repat journey, where we talk about all the things that might be preventing you from getting to the continent. Talk about overcome your fear of Africa, because we know some of us are scared because we believe the propaganda, right? The continent is dangerous and they don't want us there and all this kind of nonsense. Yet every kind of other foreigner is on the continent enjoying it while we choose to remain afraid and stay away. Then we also have burglarize your space in Africa, and that was for brothers and sisters from the diaspora that may be returning to the continent and don't realize the sort of security measures that need to be in place. How to remain grounded in Babylon. So if you're still here in the States, how you stay focused on your goal to get to the continent with everything that you're dealing with psychologically, emotionally, and financially while being in the States. And then we have why are we so critical? And that is to address just the way we treat each other, the way we treat ourselves, even, right? Sometimes we are overly critical and it deters us from being productive. We spend more time talking about what people are doing versus what we should be doing. Um, African Etiquette 101, where I talk about the differences between things that take place on the continent that might be considered rude or offensive versus things that are done in the States that are considered okay, right? We talk about that. Then we have Africans, we must connect the dots. I have one, two, and three, the three parts to that. And just talking about a lot of the distractions that were taking place in the different countries where diasporans were settling and what that was really about. Was it really about people not getting along, or was it really about some other entity trying to throw a wrench in the plans that diasporans are making to return to the continent? We also have efforts to unify and assist with repatriation to Africa. Just talking about different things that I'm involved in and working on to help people with their repat plans. I have a thrift for repat group where people are selling some of their items to either get a ticket to actually put foot on the continent, or they're actually decided to move and buy property on the continent and build a home there, and they're trying to minimize some of the items that they have because they have too much to take with them, basically, and it's very expensive to ship. So you have to kind of balance what's more important to you. So I have the Thrift for Repat group. We meet every Friday at 7:30, and we review some of the things that are taking place as far as challenges that might be stopping people from being more productive and getting rid of things. Um, I also have a repat kit, which is a box that I prepare with little things you will need for your trip that people just forget to pack. The shipping is not included, but that's a kit that I sell. I also include a list for the companies that you may be visiting, that I've been to, where I have contacts, and I share those contacts with people. So I'm going to be doing that for a limited amount of time. I'm still doing the repack kit, but I won't be including a list. We're probably going to move to condensing everything, and I'll make a list of all of the things you should take with you because I won't be in the States much longer to address those things on my own. So it'll be easier just to have a list that I will provide, and that will be purchased as well. And just contacts, connecting people. I've connected people, spoken to people. I've followed them on the journeys to make sure they arrive safely. So those are my efforts that I've made. And then I did a video all about New Year's Eve in the Gambia part two, because I knew there was something else that happened in part one, but I wanted to check my facts. And in fact, I was correct. So I did a second part on the New Year's Eve video. I also have Calling All Multifaceted Healed Africans Home. And that's the video where you see me talking, and I have on the hats. And I'm talking how talented we are and all the different skills that we have that we'll be bringing to the continent with us. And that there's no limit to whatever it is you want to do. You will find yourself doing things that you never thought you would be doing. Um, then we have Compassion Fatigue 101 for the African diaspora. And that I talk about, that feeling of just feeling so fed up with your living conditions, your environment, your job, all of it, like just feeling like you've had enough, and what that looks like, because many people have these emotions, but they turn it inward and they start feeling dissatisfied with themselves, not realizing that it's an environmental feeling that is contributing to that. So, it's important. I'm actually running through my list here. And then I also featured a video from a sister supporter, someone who just called in and said I was a motivation to them getting their situation started. And they just, have been such a great support that I had to add that sister's compliment to my range of videos. She currently has a podcast as well. So when you listen to my podcast, you'll get to hear who it is. Also, we have Why Are Africans Globally Still Enamored by Colonizers? And in that video, I just talk about some of our uh, fascination with Europeans, and how we'll often give them praise when they don't deserve it. And not just Europeans, but foreigners as a whole, oftentimes giving them more leadway than we would even give to our brothers and sisters from the diaspora. And that can be a little, disheartening to witness that or to be privy to that. And then finally, the video that I posted this evening, which was Flip the Script. And that is about doing the opposite of everything you've been told, everything that has been set as an obstacle for you or has prevented you from trying things that you really wanted to try, from exploring. I'm like, just go for it, go for it. And my final words on that video were, awaken your inner warrior. Your spirit deserves to be explored, not suppressed. And I'm going to wrap up with that because I think those words are just amazing. So please hit the podcast, check it out. You can hear the podcast AA Exit the Matrix on Anchor FM, on Spotify, Google Play, and many other platforms. So I hope to see you all there. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Do the same thing with the notifications when I'm posting. And be sure to do the same thing when you subscribe to the podcast. Blessings, and thank you all for your support. It is appreciated, and I will keep bringing positive, uplifting content.